Hi guys, I'm here to do my August wrap-up. I read a total of 20 books this month, 2 of which were ebooks and the rest were physical books. So I'll just get started. I don't think I'll be doing them in exact order, but I have quite a few to show you, so I'm just going to start. I know that this was the first book I read. It was Lucky Tea by Kate Bryan. I've had this in my collection for quite a while and decided to just read it and be done with it. It is a young adult book. It's about a girl who has a t-shirt that she got from her dad when her parents divorced, and she wore it on all these lucky moments. When she wore it, she would get A's on her tests, she got a boyfriend, all these things, and then suddenly it gets taken away to charity by her mom and her mom's friend who is doing a clothing drive to India. And ever since she does not have that t-shirt, she has been having bad luck. Her best friend and her aren't getting along and things happen with her boyfriend. So she decides to go to India to find the t-shirt and bring it back. And it's kind of a coming of age story a little bit. She's like 15, I think. And she definitely learns to grow up, and she experiences a lot of new things in India, and it's very humbling for her. I thought it was an okay book. I thought it was a little immature and very far-fetched, but I gave it 3 stars, and I didn't think it was too bad. I believe I gave it 3, maybe 4. Can't quite remember. I read another book I've had in my collection for quite a while. It's When It Happens by Suzanne Colasanti. I think that's how you say it. And I've had this since sometime in high school. It's about a girl who has not lost her virginity, and she is determined in her senior year of high school to meet the man of her dreams. And I thought it was a pretty good book. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm glad she ended up who she did end up with in the end. And I gave it 3 stars, and I thought it was pretty good. Nothing so memorable, though. I'm having a hard time remembering everything because it's been about a month since I've read it. And then I read My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick, and I absolutely loved this book. I gave it 5 stars, and I thought the characters in this were amazing. It was about a girl named Sam and then Jace. Sam and Jace, which are on the cover. And they're neighbors. Sam's mother is a political person, and they fall in love and, get wound up in each other's lives, and some crazy things happen in the book. But I thought it was really fast-paced, and I really liked the development of the characters and development of their relationship, and I thought it was all very real and believable, and I really got emotionally attached to this book, and I thought it was just wonderful overall. And this cover is so pretty with the lighting on it, so I gave this 5 stars and absolutely loved it. Then I read the first 2 books in the Hunger Games series. I have not read it yet. I've seen the movie, or Hunger Games trilogy. So the first one was The Hunger Games, and I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars. The first 100 pages or so were a little bit boring to me, probably because I've seen the movie. But for me, it got really exciting when it got to the part where they're actually in the game. And I enjoyed it so much, and I like it a lot better almost than the movie. I like being able to picture the movie, but I thought that the book was even better. And then after that, I think maybe immediately after it, I read Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, and I gave this 5 stars as well. I thought it was amazing, and since I haven't seen the movie for it yet because it comes out in, I think, November, I was totally shocked at everything in here, and I just thought it was awesome. And I'm going to read Mockingjay in September. I was going to try and fit it in August, but I was trying to read another book of the series, so it just didn't happen. Then I read Don't Judge a Girl by Her Cover by Allie Carter, and this is the 3rd, I think it's the 3rd book in the Gallagher Girls series, and it's just about girls at a spy school, and they're in high school. And the main character, gosh, what is her name? Cammie is the main character, and her friend is endangered, she thinks, by people trying to go after her because her dad's a political figure, but she's in the spy school and she's trying to protect her. And there's a lot of twists and turns, and a guy or love interest from her past comes into play, and I believe I gave this 4 stars. I think it's an okay series. It's a nice, light, and easy read. I gave it 4 stars just because I've been reading this series since high school, and I'm kind of attached to it. And then at some point this month, I picked up Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I'm kind of mad I got this copy of the book because when I was ordering it on Amazon, I ordered the new pink cover with the bigger writing, but whatever, this is fine with me. And I thought this was a really good book. I believe I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked the setting, how it was in Paris, and it's about a girl who goes to Paris for school with a bunch of rich kids, and she meets this guy that she's totally head over heels for, but he has a girlfriend and there's crazy drama in it, but the ending is good, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a nice, easy read, and I wasn't expecting everything that happened in it, so I did like that it wasn't totally predictable. Yeah, I thought it was a good book, and I definitely want to read Lola and the Boy Next Door afterwards. Then I picked up The Selection by Kiera Cass, and I was really, really excited to read this book because I've heard a lot of different things about it, and I thought it was phenomenal. I gave it 5 stars all the way. I thought it was so great. A lot of people describe it as the dystopian world Bachelor, and I guess you could say that, but I think it's a lot better than that. I'm not a huge fan of Bachelor. And I really liked the prince in this. I thought he was awesome. I think the main character, America, which I do not like that name. I mean, I like our country, but I just think it's a little cheesy for a name. But I like her nickname, Mare. And I just thought the storyline was really good, and especially in the second 2/3 of the book, it really picked up. It was kind of slow in the beginning, but I thought it was amazing towards the end, and I was really excited to read the second book, which I did. I read The Elite just a couple days ago. I have this one in hardcover. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't like this quite as much as the first one. I thought it was really good, but I don't know, I just was so frustrated with certain parts of the book. Its pacing was really good, but there was a lot of kind of internal reflection on herself rather than a ton of action, but there was a lot of unexpected things that happened, and I was really rooting for her and the prince, and I just want to know what happens. Seriously, I just want to know what happens. That's why I just gave it 4 stars, because I was a little frustrated with it. But I really like the series so far. Then I read The Quickie by James Patterson and Michael Ledwidge. I don't know, I just paid attention to James Patterson. This was awesome. I thought my mom read this book. I was talking to her about it, and I guess she hasn't, but I swear she has. And I just really like his books. They're so fast-paced. It's about a woman who thinks her husband is cheating on her, so she goes and sleeps with another man, and her husband kills the man she slept with. And crazy things happen, and she turns out to be a detective. She was in the police force, and it's just craziness. And it was such a fast read. I enjoyed this so much. I believe I gave it 4 stars. It was really good, and I want to read more James Patterson. I've read 2 of his books, and I want to read more soon. I think I have 3 more of his to read. It's my first paperback of his. And then I read this quick, easy read. I think it's, gosh, not even 200 pages. It's The Espressologist by Christina Springer. And this was a really good book. I got it for pretty cheap off Amazon, and I thought the cover was really cool. So yeah, it's about a girl who works at a coffee shop, and she starts pairing people up by what they order. She has a journal of, what people order and what their personalities are, and what she guesses their personalities are based on what they drink from coffee. And she starts pairing people up, and it works out, and it actually works. She's like a matchmaker, and it gets really popular, and she basically pairs herself up with someone too, and I think that's really interesting. And it was a cute, fun read, and I read it probably in a day. I enjoyed it, so I gave this, I think, 4 stars. I thought it was really good. And I've never read anything by this author before. Then I read Looking for Alaska by John Green. I gave this 3 stars because I didn't really enjoy this. I've heard it's really popular, but I like The Fault in Our Stars way better. This was not that great to me. I was unpredictable in some parts. I must give it that. So that's what I did like about it. But I thought it was kind of slow in a lot of parts, and I think the main character was just, I don't know. It reminded me of a not so good version of Perks of Being a Wallflower, about a loner who doesn't have friends, and he jumps in with this one crowd who's just totally different than what he's used to. So to me, it was kind of been there, done that kind of story. But it had its like strong points, I guess. But I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan. And I didn't like that there wasn't chapters, it just goes by days and it never has any breaks in it. So even though it was only a little bit over 200 pages, it was kind of long and dragged on, and I had a really hard time reading this. So yeah, I only gave it 3 stars. Sorry guys. And then I read Nora Roberts' Vision in White, which is the first book in the Bride Quartet series, and I hadn't heard anything about this. I bought it off of Amazon for super duper cheap, and I got it because I've never read this author before, and look at that cover. It is a fluffy wedding dress. Come on now. But it was actually really good. I gave it 4 stars. It's about 4 girls who all started a wedding planning business together, and it was about the first girl named, her name is Mac, and she's the photographer. There's a photographer, florist, like the head planner, and then a baker. And I think each book is about a different girl, but this one's about the photographer, and basically it's about her romance with a guy she used to know in high school, and his sister is one of their clients to get married. So I thought it was really romantic, and I really liked the characters in it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to read the second one. Bed of Roses, I believe, is the title. I have it, so I'm going to read that soon, and I really highly recommend this, and I'm very impressed because I've never read a book by Nora Roberts before, and I wasn't sure how much I would like it. So yeah, I really liked it, and I like the spine too, and it says like which one it is in the series, so very helpful. Then I picked up 20 Boys Summer by Sarah Auckler. Got this at Half Price Books, I think last month. I didn't really know what it was about, but I've heard great things. I figured it was just going to be a light, fluffy read, but it was so much more serious than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be about girls vacationing and just trying to find lots of guys, but it definitely wasn't like that. It's about 3 people, a brother, a sister, and then their best friend who's a girl. And like the summer before, the girl and the brother have a slight romance but don't tell the sister. And he dies in a car accident, and she promised him that she would let him tell the sister about their relationship. And then they go on vacation together the next summer, the 2 girls, and they try and date lots of guys, and just lots of drama happens, and it's a lot about letting go and closure for the main character. Is her name Anna, I think is her name. So Anna, it's a lot about her getting closure and trying to be there for her friend Frankie, whose brother died, and also kind of trying to comfort herself because she is trying to let go of that pain she had. I thought it was really good, and I gave it 4 stars. I have another Sarah Auckler book called Bittersweet, so I'm planning on reading that sometime soon. Then I read Nicholas Sparks' A Walk to Remember. Oh my goodness, I love this book. I watched the movie multiple times when I was younger, and I love it. It's such a good movie. I gave this book 5 stars. It's way better than the movie. It's different. They didn't play up the main character to be such a bad boy in the book. In the movie, he was like a bad kid doing all these bad things, and he was like, stuck with doing the play for community service. Whereas in the book, he just signed up for drama because he didn't want to take like a science class, so he thought it'd be easier. And he ends up asking the main girl out because he couldn't find anyone else to dance because he was like class president and he had to have a date. And in this one, his dad was like a political figure too, which is interesting. I've been reading a lot of books with political parents. But yeah, it was just so romantic and just so sad But I love it. It's so good. I gave it 5 stars, and I'm going to read more Nicholas Sparks. I just started reading him like this year, and I've loved everything I've read. I think I've read like 5 books of his this year. They're all amazing. Then I read Jackie Collins' Poor Little Bitch Girl, and I've never read anything by her before. I saw this on Girly Girl Bookworm's channel. She mentioned reading this on vacation, saying she loved it, and I loved it. I read it in like one day, and it's like almost 500 pages. It's phenomenal. It's juicy and drama, and just so much drama. And it's from a series that's been since the 80s. My mom knows about it. But the way they've kept it up is now some of the characters' children. So it's like rich people and shady people, and the parents who are in the old books still pop up. So that's pretty interesting. And it's the series, the Lucky Santangelo series, and Lucky Santangelo is one of the parents, and her son Bobby is one of the characters. And it goes, each chapter is a different character, and within those chapters there's multiple characters that relate to that character. So I thought it was really interesting and juicy, and I can't wait to read the next book. So gave that 4 stars. And that cover is just priceless. I think that's caviar on her finger, so I think that's really funny. And then 2 more physical books. First one is Anne Brashare's The Last Summer of You and Me. And this is her first like adult novel, but I think it's still kind of young adult. And she wrote it after the Sisterhood series. It's about 3 friends, 2 of which are sisters, and 1 is a guy. And they've been going to the same beach house area for summers over and over again, and they see each other each summer. And they grew up together, and the boy and one of the sisters have like a love affair during the last summer, and just lots of things happen, and it was really good. The beginning I thought was kind of slow, and I thought that like the type was a little bit small, and I don't know, I thought it was a little bit small. So it was slow in the beginning, but it definitely picked up the last half or so, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and yeah, it knocked out something for, I've been doing like different challenges on Goodreads, and this completed one of my challenges. The last physical book I read is The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DiCamillo. I need to put the bookmark back in where I was reading with my boyfriend. I read the first 50 pages to him, and I'm on vacation, and I just read it the other night, just all in one sitting. I read the last like 200 pages of it. It's because it is pretty like big writing, and there's like lots of illustrations, and it's a great book. I've read this 2 or 3 times when I was a kid. I checked it out from my school library in elementary school in 4th and 5th grade, and I loved it. When I was a kid, I remember it being this big book. It was a hardcover book, but only like 200-something pages, which is so funny how I thought that was like a giant book. I think it's really cute. I give it 4 stars because I just have such fond memories with this book. It's about a mouse, and it's really cute, and the writing style is really great. I think it's nice how she includes the reader, speaks directly to the reader, asks the reader to think of certain things and kind of ponder and reflect, within yourself about some of the big, themes of this book. And it's about, love and loyalty and good and evil, and how light is good and darkness is evil. And I thought it was really, really good. So that's it for physical books. Now on to my not physical books. Both are by the same author. One I bought myself. I bought the whole series, and the other one I received for free off of NetGalley just for my review. And I already posted that on Goodreads, so if you would like to check it out, I'm going to leave my Goodreads down below, and you can find it on there. So the first one is In Search of a Love Story by Rachel Schurig. They had this in a physical copy online that I could order and buy, but the rest of the series is only for Kindle, so I figured it was kind of pointless just to get the first book. And I think Rachel Schurig does a really great job at friendships. And this was about a girl who could not get like the right boyfriend, could not fall in love. She is like she helps people, gosh, what is it called? Not a physical trainer, but helps you with your sports injuries, or if you're older, I forget what it's called. And her friends were trying to help her, teach her the rules of love and all these different things. And she goes through dating, and she finds a guy she really cares about, but then she realizes he's not really loving her for her. And the guy who's been perfect for her has been under her nose all along. And although this book was extremely predictable, I knew who that man was the whole time in the book, I still really liked it, and I thought it was enjoyable. I gave it 4 stars, and I really like Rachel Sherrick's writing style. It's funny, and I like her way she writes friendships, and I thought she did a really great job. The next book that I received from NetGalley, the one I received from them, was Love Struck in London, also by Rachel Sherrick. And I gave this 4 stars. It was a little bit predictable, you knew kind of what was going to happen in the end, but I thought it was really, really good. I liked how it was abroad as well. It's about a girl who goes to London after college with her best friend to study abroad for 9 months, and she meets a guy who's an actor in a series called Darkness, which is basically a spin-off of Twilight about vampires and werewolves. And she falls in love with him, and he's not a typical actor, and he's not into the limelight, and she has to deal with struggling with balancing her life of school and her family back home. It's a big, loud, and needy Hispanic family, and also, her love life. And I thought that was really interesting because books sometimes forget to talk about how girls deal with school too, and I thought that was really interesting. And it was almost like an adult coming-of-age story because she learned how to stand up for herself, and even if she had to disappoint others, and I really, really liked that. So I thought it was a really good read, and it took me almost all month to read it just because I'm not a huge fan of e-readers, and I read it on my phone because for some reason NetGalley sending it to me didn't work on my computer, so that was kind of a bummer. But yeah, that's all I've read. I'm sorry this video is so long. I should probably do weekly wrap-ups or something, but whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.